Hey guys, welcome to the VR version of Battlefleet 2, and I'm going to show you some of the features of the game and step through some of the VR side of things here. You can see this is the battlefield around Wake Island in this specific example, and I've got my fleet over on this side here, and then the enemy fleet is on the other side as well as hidden in the fog of war there. I have a control panel on the left hand that allows me to control the ships, and with the right hand I've got a laser pointer so I can select my different controls. Now this is still an early build of the VR version of the game, and we hope to improve these controls and make them a little bit smoother over time. So basically the game is turn-based, so you're able to move and fire the weapons of each ship one at a time, and then end the turn and move on to the next ship. So I'll start off here with our carrier, and of course we can zoom in to the battlefield if I hold the grip controllers on the side of the 5 controllers here. So I'm able to zoom in and out, and then I can also hold just one of the grip controllers on one side and move the map around. I can move the ship if I select move control. I zoom out a little bit here so I can see more. And for this ship, let's say we want to get over this way a little bit. And so then with this controller, I'm able to move the speed of the ship. So just a small movement. And then I can attack. And each ship has a selection of weapons. And for the carrier, I also have some planes. So for example, I do see one enemy ship over there. So I'm going to try to do an airstrike on it. So for this one, I'll select one of my dive bombers. And one of the other movement methods to get around the map is teleportation as well. So if I press on the touchpad on my right controller, I'm able to select a spot to teleport to. So this way I can teleport right up to this ship. And then I'm going to select airstrike mode. So this instruction just tells me to lay down a crosshair for where I want the airstrike to attack. And so I'm going to target this ship. Now you can actually target different parts of the ship if you just move the airstrike around. So let's say the front here, and then I'm going to do engage, and now we can actually watch the airstrike progress. Got a couple of hits on this ship there. Now if I want to shoot any of my weapons, I can select the weapon, and then I have an aiming line right here. I can drag anywhere on the map, and each weapon has a specific firing arc. So this one, for example, fires to the starboard side. And then each weapon also has a distance it can fire. So right now I have one little ring showing me a distance of 1,000 away from the ship. I can match that by this power slider. So if I select 1,000, it'll shoot to where the ring is, but this weapon can also fire further. So this just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of the distance, so you can try to estimate how far away. Now in this particular case, that ship is probably a little bit further than my maximum range, but let's give it a shot anyways. There we go. So I'm a little bit off. So I do have some more powerful weapons on this ship, of course, the main guns in the battleship. So now I know the distance to this point is 3,000. So now I can try to figure out how much further I need to shoot to be able to hit that cruiser. If I drag this out to maybe it's, say, around 3,400, give that a try. There we go, perfect hit. So that's 3 shells hit on that guy. Now we've got one more of those guns. Now I can also use the trackpad on the left controller to manually change the distance and the angle. So if I touch anywhere on the left and right of the left trackpad, I can adjust the angle of the line a little bit. And if I touch on the up and down side of the trackpad, I can adjust the power, and then I'll fire. And that has sunk the cruiser. So this is the campaign mode of Battlefleet 2. And in here you're able to play an entire World War II campaign, both in the Pacific and the Atlantic. Over here I've got a version of the Pacific campaign where I'm playing the US side. And on the map we've got a selection of territories that you have to conquer to be able to win the campaign. Each territory has a number of features, such as the number of ships in the territory and the amount of points, industry points that territory makes. So the more territories you own, the more you're able to produce in terms of building ships. Some of the territories will have a port in them, for example, right over here. So in Australia, we've got a port, and that means we're able to build ships there. So if we want to build a ship, we just select that territory, and then we get a little bit more info about the territory, a little bit of background, how many ships we can build. So we can build 5 ships there. This territory produces 20 industry points. And we've got a couple of options right here, as well as a list of all the different ships in the territory. I can just scroll through these using the left touchpad. Now I can refit any of the existing ships that are there, so that means changing any of their weapon loadouts, or I can build new ones. If I select the build mode, it takes me to the build area here, and on the left hand side of the control panel, I have a list of all the different ship classes I can build, as well as all their stats. And this is how many points I have to build with. So I have 200 points right now, so I can build either a submarine, a destroyer, or 2 frigates. So let's build a destroyer. Now with each ship that you build, you get to take a look at the model over here, and then you can also edit the ship. So I can select any of the weapons on the ship and exchange them for something different. So let's say on this destroyer I'd like to have 2 midship mounted torpedoes. So I can select a gun position right there, and then scroll down and select the torpedo for that. I can change the rear weapon to be a dual-purpose cannon, which allows me to fire both regular shells and anti-aircraft shells. Once I've finished with a ship, I can close that. Now if I want to attack with any set of ships, I can select my territory. So I've got a good selection of ships here. I want to move. I want to select the target. So for example, here I'm going to invade the Gilbert Islands from New Zealand and Fiji. And so I want to select ships I want to move. So in this case, all of my ships. And I want to bring this transport along because I do need to bring a transport to be able to conquer certain territories. So right here, you'll see this is Gilbert Islands. Transport's needed 1. So I need to bring at least 1, and it needs to survive the battle for me to be able to take that territory over. So let's select all the ships, hit attack. And that's going to load into the regular battle map. In the campaign, in addition to regular ships, there's also land-based installations, such as coastal artillery and airfields. And to be able to take over the territory, you have to destroy those as well. Or if you're defending the territory, you'll get to use them.